Hey, how about it, race fans? Richard Allen of InsideDirtRacing.com and InsideCircleTrack.com coming at you with another installment of my Rich's Ramblings. And today, I'm doing this on a Thursday. It's the preview of a huge racing weekend coming up in all forms of racing. Before I get to that, I want to talk about one thing that's just recently occurred, and that's the recent success of Nick Hoffman on the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Series, as well as running an unsanctioned race that he won last weekend. So far, the last two times Nick Hoffman has sat in a late model car, he's taken the win. And what I was going to say about that is, who didn't see this coming? I mean, the guy's immensely talented. He's won a million modified races, and now that he's made that full-time jump into the late models, I mean, this is something that was pretty predictable, and now it looks like he's really hitting his stride with a Ty Tworig Longhorn racing team that he's with. So I fully expect there to be more success to come for Nick Hoffman here in the near future. You know, he's well on his way. He's competing for the World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year. So he's well on his way for that, but I look for there to be more feature wins in his future as well. So that was fun to see. It's always great to see somebody come up with a new face in victory lane in one of the national tours or on a regional series or local, either one. It's always fun to introduce new blood to the winner's circle from time to time. So that was one thing. But then getting to this weekend, I mean, what a weekend! Of course, it always is a Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day, of course, is to observe those who have fallen in combat, serving our great country, and we never want to lose sight of that. But the racing, this is really kind of the kickoff of the real heart and soul of the racing season. You've got here this coming weekend, you'll have the Grand Prix of Monaco, which I know that's not the racing at Monaco is usually typically not that great. The course is too narrow. I mean, the course was designed for decades ago when the cars were much slower and different style of racing that they had back then, but it's still Monaco. It's still got all that glitz and glamour, and you get that element of the see and be seen crowd that's there. So you've got all that. I mean, it's always Monaco, whether the racing's very good or not. And then you got the Indianapolis 500. I mean, this race's 107 years old. That's unbelievable. They've been racing that long, since old Ray Haroon took the checkered flag way back there. I believe it was 1911 when they had the first race. But, I mean, the speed is incredible. They're running over 230 miles an hour around that track. Just amazing that they're able to not only carry that kind of speed, but also to actually race at that speed. I always look forward to that. I'm not a huge IndyCar fan. I don't just, set my clock based on when the next IndyCar race is, but it's the Indianapolis 500. I mean, how can you not be excited about that? And, of course, NASCAR's got the Coca-Cola 600, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, which it's not as old as Indianapolis, but has an awful lot of tradition there. Some of the biggest names in motorsports have won that race, so that's something to look forward to as well. And, the racing in some of the NASCAR races hasn't been that great, but things have seemed to started to pick up here over the last few weeks. So hopefully that trend will continue. The next gen car has been pretty decent on the mile-and-a-half tracks. The short tracks and the road courses are not panning out quite the way everybody would like, but hopefully the mile-and-a-half track at Charlotte Motor Speedway will hopefully provide a great race. But then there's not just that. I mean, there's all kinds of dirt racing going on. You've got the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series with the Show Me 100, one of the crown jewel events, 50,000 to win race at the Lucas Oil Speedway there in Missouri. So that's something. That's a three-day deal. They'll start actually racing. Like I said, I'm doing this on a Thursday, so they start racing tonight. They'll race on Friday in the preliminaries, and then have the big main event on Saturday. And the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Series, kind of doing the same thing, a 3-day weekend with a big finale on Saturday. They're at the Sharon Speedway in Ohio. So they've got the same sort of deal, a couple of preliminary nights leading up to the main event, but and then just scores of regional races. I mean, you got the Working Man Series, which that series is really coming along. It's kind of they're tied in with the XR series, and it's got some unique aspects to it. How they do that Dirt Dominator qualifying, where they have the little one-on-one races to see who's going to wind up on the pole. That's really interesting. It's a unique little deal that they do there. But they've got a 10,000 to win race at Cherokee Speedway in South Carolina coming up this weekend. You got the Spring Nationals. Spring Nationals are at I-75, North Georgia and Duck River. So that should be a cool deal to watch. Ray Cook always puts on a great show with those Schaefer's Oil Spring National races, and they're kind of winding down because, like I said, we're sort of at the beginning of summer, so they're sort of winding that series down. It's like everything else, been plagued by a bunch of rainouts all throughout the spring, but everything looks good for some racing this weekend. You got the Valvoline Ironman Series. They got a huge weekend. They're racing at Ponderosa, Lake Cumberland, Tazewell, and 411 coming up. All through from Friday through Monday. So a lot to look forward to there as well. And then there's Southern All Stars, Carolina Clash, American All Stars. Pretty much, if you live anywhere near a racetrack, there's going to be something going on this weekend. But for me, this is kind of a unique thing for me. I have never attended a World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series event in which that's the only major event. I've seen the sprint cars race at Charlotte when they've been teamed up with the big block modifieds and the World of Outlaws late models, and I've been at Bristol Motor Speedway when they were teamed up. They were paired up with the late models there. But this weekend I'm going up to Atomic Speedway there near Chillicothe, Ohio, to take in a Friday, Saturday show with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, it's the first time I've ever attended a sprint car race where the sprint cars are the only primary show. Now, they do have the UMP Modifieds racing with them. I think got Sport Mods racing up there as well. But it's ought to be interesting, a first for me. So I'm hoping to be able to come out with some cool stories and just have a great experience up there. But as far as everyone goes, I'm wishing everybody a happy Memorial Day. Hope you get to spend some great time with your family, maybe a little cookout or something like that on Memorial Day. And of course, always remembering those who have given their lives for the service of this country as well. But also, hopefully, we can all make it out to a racetrack at some point during this weekend, supporting our races. I love watching the streams. All the streaming services do a great job. XR, Flow, Dirt Vision, they all do a great job covering racing. But there's nothing like that feel of being there, nothing like that smell and that sound of actually being at a racetrack. So hopefully with all this racing going on, just check the different series schedules, check your local tracks web page and see what they've got going on and get out and check out some racing somewhere, whether it's IndyCar, NASCAR, dirt track, pavement, late models, whatever it might be. Get out there and cheer your favorites on and just have a great time. But thanks again for taking the time to watch and listen. This is Richard Allen of InsideDirtRacing.com and InsideCircleTrack.com saying I will see you at the track.